Thank you.
Call this meeting to order. Before we begin today's meeting, I'd invite everyone who would join us and recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pen would be helpful.
I'd like to call to order the November 21st, 2025 meeting of the Board of Regents. Roll call, please.
Regent Lacey?
Here.
Regent Calamari?
Yes.
Regent Wilkins?
Here.
Regent Schroeder?
Yes.
Regent Clare?
Here.
Regent Kenny?
Here.
Regent O'Connor?
Here.
Regent Schaefer?
Here.
Regent Shear?
Here.
Regent Stark?
Here.
Regent Whites?
Yeah, here.
Regent Wilmot?
Here.
A quorum is present.
Thank you. In your materials, you have copies of the minutes from the board meeting, October 3rd, 2025. I'd entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Are there any additions or corrections? Roll, please.
Regent Calamari?
Yes.
Regent Wilkins?
Yes.
Regent Schroeder?
Yes.
Regent Lacey?
Yes.
Regent Kenny?
Yes.
Regent O'Connor?
Yes.
Regent Schaefer?
Yes.
Regent Shear?
Yes.
Regent Stark?
Yes.
Regent Whites?
Yes.
Regent Wilmot?
Yes.
Regent Clare?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. In compliance with the Nebraska Open Meetings Act, the board has posted a copy of the act in the back of the room. Now we'll move on to public portion of today's meeting. Standing rules of the board provide that any person or persons may appear to address the Board of Regents on an item that's not on the agenda. If an individual provides the corporate secretary at least 24 hours notice, additionally, that this meeting may be conducted by video conference, any member of the public wishing to speak via Zoom are required to advise of their request to do so 24 hours prior to the meeting. We were not contacted by anyone wishing to address the board by Zoom. We were contacted by 4 individuals wishing to speak on a topic that is not on today's agenda. Standing rules also provide anyone desiring to speak concerning any item on the agenda for this meeting, regardless of notice, may do so by signing in the sheet at the entrance. We will call you up in order to receive the request. Those advising us in advance of their desire go first. Each individual has 3 minutes in which to speak. Our first one is John Schrader. John?
Thank you. And good morning. I'm John Schrader, the Faculty Senate President at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. The Higher Learning Commission process seems to have worked out quite nicely, combined the 2 campuses into one, University of Nebraska, lose the Med Center, lose the UNL part of it. We in Lincoln, though, remain concerned about how we got here, that is, how we got to be a branch campus, and how our East Campus is now the main campus of this newly created, newly remerged enterprise. Maybe we'll know more about that before this day is over. The Big Red N, the flagship, the R1, the land-grant institution, is now a branch campus. And how are we selling that? I know my colleagues at UNL are baffled by this development, as I think are the people in the community, many of whom are not University of Nebraska people and have heard about it. I'm not sure how the students, staff, and alums feel about it, but they will soon know, and I suspect they'll have plenty of questions and plenty of comment. 2 things can be true, right? We can be a stronger university, combining the paperwork, the research, the reporting, the teaching, the engagement, and I think we could have done it in a process that was not totally top-down and was a tad bit more transparent. But we had no say in this. I'm frankly not sure how many people worked on the architecture of the HLC application. We're not sure even if the campus leaders had much input. But maybe in this new world we can be hopeful. Hope that that you'll stop maybe taking so much money from our campus now that we're the University of Nebraska. Maybe we'll stop being dismantled. Maybe we won't have to worry about in the future what's happening right now, the damaging, devastating, demoralizing budget cuts that have hit our campus. Since 1869, this has been the flagship of the state's only public university. It's the home of the Huskers. It's the center of research and extension, teaching and innovation, student experience. It's been the shining light of this system, and now that light shines on the only branch campus in the Big Ten. Thank you.
Thank you. Robert, excuse me, was it Zott? Robert, are you here? Blake Aspen, please.
Good afternoon, members of the University Board of Regents. My name is Blake Aspen. I'm a student at the University of Nebraska College of Law. I want to start happy and end happy, and that's that I'm really proud to be a Nebraskan. I'm proud to be a student at the school. I'm proud to be a Husker. But as an outsider, somebody who's not here all that often, not in leadership, not on any faculty senate or the Board of Regents certainly, when I look at the news surrounding the University of Nebraska, it can be quite demoralizing. Turmoil, frankly, from the faculty senate, calling for Chancellor Bennett's basically resignation. But I'm here to support Chancellor Bennett. He's doing the job that you've asked him to do. And there's no doubt that the budget is a certain issue in the state. I regret that the legislature is having to make difficult decisions during their appropriations process. I'm the president of the UNL FedSoc, Federalist Society. And a couple weeks ago, I guess a week and a half ago, I had 4 state senators come in and discuss with the UNL Law College just issues on their mind. And a professor that I respect dearly, he asked, "Senators, what are you going to do to help support UNL?" And I thought it was a really great question because there's no doubt this has been tough. What does not support your mission is undermining Chancellor Bennett. What does not support your mission is having the legislature take you into an impeachment because you won't resign. If you're not going to resign for that family, resign for the university. We need stability. When things are stable, everything's going to improve. We need some positive news. And I'm asking you to reflect on that. I understand that you have an important job, and it's tough. But you're all proud to be Nebraskans. I'm proud to be a Nebraskan. The people that are looking in are proud to be Nebraskans. The legislature's proud to be Nebraskans. Do Nebraska's job. Serve with integrity. Thank you.
Thank you. Susan Vanderplas. Susan?
Hi, my name is Susan Vanderplas. I'm a member of the UNL Department of Statistics, which is one of the departments slated to be eliminated under Chancellor Bennett's plan. I fully support eliminating the structural deficit at UNL. I'm concerned with how it was done here, because as much as I don't enjoy balancing my checkbook every month, even I know that you have to consider both the income and the spending to make good financial decisions. The Chancellor's plan preserves some of the most profitable classes that the statistics department teaches, though it doesn't describe how they will be taught without faculty or graduate students. But it's important to know what they're leaving on the table. The value generated from the classes that are slated to be eliminated this year is about $2.1 million. The savings from cutting my department is about $1.75 million. So counting only the least profitable classes we teach, only the things that are being left on the table, we're losing money by cutting my department. It ignores the research grants we bring in and the many other contributions to the university that we make. Ultimately, the university is hurting the budget by cutting this department. You might ask why we're on the chopping block, and it's because in 2021, you all approved a new undergraduate statistics major. And the data used for the budget cuts comes from 2023 and 2024. So we had a very new program that had started small on purpose. Our major's growing very quickly, though. Our classes are also being taken by data science, which was started in 2023, and the digital ag minor, which was started in 2024. The investment that we put in is starting to pay off. And if any other schools are an indication, these programs will continue to grow rapidly. They will be profitable. Statistics and data science are essential to the modern economy. AI built off of statistical models. Digital agriculture requires statistics to handle the massive amounts of data generated by drones and in-field sensors. Our profitability may have been low in 2024, but it's increasing all the time. Many businesses that are expanding run in the red for a short period during growth periods. It's a loss that's acceptable given future anticipated gains. Please don't cut the statistics department as we start to realize those gains. I've developed 5 new classes for this major. I've written a free online textbook for my students. My department has put in the work to match the university's investment in this program. I'm in an in-demand field. I'm not worried about myself. I'm here to prevent the university that I love from harming itself. I'm here to protect the investments we've made, and I'm here to preserve the possibility for future Huskers to major in statistics without going too far from home so that they can contribute to brain gain in the state. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes the list of individuals who have indicated a desire to speak. There being no other persons wishing to comment, I declare the opportunity for public comment closed. Thank you. Now I'd like to ask President Gold to walk us through the item on today's administrative agenda.
Thank you, Regent Kenny. The item is entitled Recognize and Approve the Consolidation of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln and the University of Nebraska Medical Center into a single HLC accredited administrative unit to be known as the University of Nebraska. And on behalf of the board, to also authorize the president to designate a formal date of this transaction. On November 11th, 2025, the University of Nebraska received confirmation that the board of the Higher Learning Commission approved the university's request for accreditation consolidation of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln and the University of Nebraska Medical Center. Item 5A1, which is before you today, seeks for the board to recognize and approve this consolidation into a single HLC accredited administrative unit. A vote in favor of this action will authorize the president to continue moving forward in this process and to set a formal date of consolidation once all of the final remaining appropriate procedures have been completed with the Higher Learning Commission and the Department of Education. The approved consolidation of these 2 campuses will allow us for combined accreditation of these 2 units, but even more so provides consistency with our highly regarded peers and will facilitate faculty collaboration and will create multiple easier paths for students to transfer between the academic programs currently on the 2 campuses. While building upon the storied legacy of our land-grant flagship campus and of our world-renowned academic medical center, this accreditation change restores the single accreditation that was in place from 1913 through 1968 and sets the stage for extraordinary future growth and enhanced national and global recognition. This is an historic opportunity for all current and future Nebraskans, as well as for the University of Nebraska, its faculty, staff, and its students. The Board of Regents and the campus teams that have been integrally involved in this process for over a year are to be commended for their time, their attention to detail, and their hard work. And I recommend this to you for approval of this next step.
President, is there a motion to approve 5A1?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion on this motion?
I would just like to start by thanking President Gold for this huge honor. I think this is a huge step in the right direction for the university, and quite quite frankly, when he laid out his vision, when he was interviewing for the job, this was one of the things he had talked about. And I can tell you, it's, you know, it's nice to have leaders in position that when they lay out a plan, they execute it and deliver results. So with that, good job, President Gold.
Jim?
Well, I'd like to just note that, one, in regards to comments that were made earlier, University of Nebraska doesn't make the rules. We just have to follow the rules. And if it was available to count the research that was being done at the Med Center with the university, we wouldn't have to go through this. But that wasn't the case. In order to do that, they had to be back to one system. Calling your attention that essentially the Med Center was part of the university system, Lincoln, when it first started back in 1960, whatever, 8. So, I mean, I guess what goes around comes around. But it's important to be acknowledged for what we actually do as a system. And I sort of look back on my days in the legislature, and we worked continuously on property tax, trying to provide more and more money for property tax. And every year I would check the ratings, and we would never go down. We would always go up because our taxes went up. And I would call these people that were doing the research, and they'd say, well, but the tax roll still shows the tax being that amount. And I go, but there's a reduction at the bottom. Doesn't matter. This is how we view it. We view it this way, with whatever the tax statement says. Well, we can't help it. People that do the work in regards to research look at the number as a conclusive number, not as an individual number, and you don't get to tie the two together when you apply. So it is in the best interest of not only the University of Nebraska, Lincoln, and the Med Center, but we're the University of Nebraska system. And we have to a certain extent, quit considering ourselves as silos. This is the University of Nebraska. I don't represent Lincoln or the Med Center or Kearney or UNO. I represent the University of Nebraska. It is the University of Nebraska system. UNL didn't go away. It's still here. Just like any other part of that system. It is a system. We're damn lucky to have the system we have. And Nebraska's problems with funding is not unique to Nebraska. It is going on all over the United States. There has been a change in society in regards to higher education. Might be cyclical, but I don't know that a university can wait for that cycle to turn around. We don't have that much reserves. We have to act upon it, just like every one of us here individually. We look at what our income is as a household and what our expenses are. And if they don't match or we don't get some savings, we've got a problem. And we can go borrow money, but you still have to pay the money back. The only one that doesn't is the federal government, for God's sakes. So we're doing our darndest to make sure that we remain a high-level quality institution that not only Nebraska can look up to, but the nation. And I don't know any of the 8 of us that are on any other mission other than to do exactly that. So there are going to be some bumps in the road, and there are going to be some pains in the road, just like there have been at every other institution in the United States. You know, we're going to play Penn State in football tomorrow. The Penn State system is closing 7 campuses, not closing or eliminating 7 fields of study. They are eliminating 7 campuses. We aren't trying to eliminate Lincoln. We aren't eliminating Kearney. We're not eliminating UNO, and we're not eliminating the Med Center. We're trying to make sure that we all survive. And it's my hope that we all come out better and are able to grow upon that point. But we're not there yet. we're trying as hard as we can. I guarantee you that. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I would just like to say kudos, Jim, or excuse me, Regent Shear. And I think the other thing that I keep hearing that I think needs to be made totally clear for the public, none of these decisions have been made by one individual or two or three back behind a closed door. It has taken a long time, a lot of meetings, a lot of considerations, people putting their heads together to try to do the right thing. And I think the public needs to know that too.
Me? No, go ahead.
I just want to say that I think this move is the right one, given that it helps us be recognized for the work that we're already doing in terms of research on the UNL and UNMC campuses. And from a student side of things, I've been repeatedly assured that the actual movement to joint accreditation will not impact the student experience materially on either campus. At least I was on the UNMC side. Libby, I don't know what promises you got on the UNL side, but I do trust the administration to follow through on that promise that the student experience on either of these campuses will remain unchanged, at least due to the joint accreditation.
I was here when we lost our AAU accreditation. It was a very sad day. I remember Dr. Tom Osborne commenting and saying it was one of the biggest blows to the academic excellence of this university. It didn't need to happen. Basically what happened, UNL separated its research from the Med Center's research. But combining together, we qualify for a higher opportunity to get that AAU distinction. I've taught on both campuses also. And I would tell you, when I was at the medical center, I had greater opportunity for research that I didn't have at the UNL campus because of the access to healthcare and patients and NIH funding. So I think this is going to be a huge step forward and bringing us back into the AAU, which is a huge, huge distinction that we need to pursue and will give us greater opportunity to receive more funding for research. My comments.
Regent Claire, Tim, you're on.
Yeah. Thank you. This is an extremely exciting day. And it's exciting from the standpoint that we started on this venture not last week, last month, last year. It was actually when Ted Carter was still here. And I applaud our leader, Dr. Gold, for picking up that baton after Ted left. I applaud Chris Kaborik and Phil Bakken for helping keep it going as well. And now that Jeff took over, I'm really appreciative for the last year to 2 years, however long Jeff's been here. I'm really appreciative of continuing to strive forward for excellence. I appreciate that very, very much. I'm very grateful to the Higher Learning Commission for its support and approval of the joint accreditation between UNL and UNMC. And I will be voting yes on this, and I'm very proud to do so. This is a forward-thinking step and a step that will make the University of Nebraska, a better institution and a better representative of what our state's all about. I'm grateful again to Dr. Gold and very much appreciate him and his team for the hard work that they've gone through to get us to this point, the leadership that they showed, the persistence and the continuing to work hard on it. Again, this is very exciting. In the comment was made about that this has been the Med Center and UNL from 1913 to 1968 were included as the University of Nebraska. And in 1968, that separated. And as a result, the research expenditures technically needed to be separated. And so when we were removed from the AAU, that removal was based on UNL's representation by itself of the of its research expenditures, and there was other things. But putting these two together today catapults us forward. And from a research perspective, as an example, when we combine the research expenditures at UNL and UNMC, we go from a ranking of 120th to approximately a ranking of 55th. That's extraordinary. And that's more reflective of what the University of Nebraska and what Nebraskans expect from us. So today's decision, in my mind, is about winning. And not just winning, but winning big for the state of Nebraska. This structure is going to strengthen research partnerships. It's going to streamline operations and will open the door to even greater academic opportunities for our students and for our faculty. By aligning UNL and UNMC more closely, we're showing the world that Nebraska is not just showing up. We're stepping onto the national stage, leading, competing with the very best. Big Ten schools, the very best, and we are going to be in that discussion. AAU institutions. This puts us squarely on their playing field. Many of those campuses have an academic medical center included in their rankings. We did not. We were bifurcated. Now what we're doing is we're bringing them together. So I'm extremely excited about this. We've said it before that good isn't good enough. We're aiming for extraordinary. And if we want to win championships on the field and in the classroom and in the labs, we've got to be willing to make bold plays. You don't win games from the sidelines. You win by strapping on your helmet and getting in the game. And that's what this is. This is game changing for the University of Nebraska. And I couldn't be more excited about what lies ahead, not only for the University of Nebraska, but our students, our faculty, and the future of this state that we all love. So I will enthusiastically be voting yes.
Tim, anyone else?
Mr. Chair, I wanted to comment because I had a lot of UNK students actually ask about what does this mean for us? We're not UNL, we're not UNMC. Aside from the benefits that our students who are in pipeline programs will see, this is definitely a situation where a rising tide lifts all ships. I mean, the opportunities that this will open up for the university system, for innovation, for streamlining processes, it's going to be felt all the way through the system.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm speaking to you today as someone who's been coming to Lincoln for games since I was 8 years old. I have a degree. I'm a graduate from UNO, and I've been on the board of the Nebraska Foundation and served on numerous committees, and now currently in my second term as regent. And I have to tell you today, in listening to everyone and knowing the process that's been in place, it's a bittersweet moment. I really want to acknowledge that as someone who's 77 years old, I embrace the past more often than I should. And I look in the rearview mirror too often. And now is the time where higher education is in a major change. Our culture is in a major change. Our politics have become so polarized that even being nonpartisan is a very difficult task, even in Nebraska. And I think this board has worked very hard to let that stay away from our decisions about what's best for this university. And I pledge to you that we all continue to do that to best of our abilities. But I will say I have to change. I have to embrace change. And that's not easy for me. I love a lot of our past, and I look to this as really the future. This is where we have to go. I was born in a different century. I grew up in a different world. My communication skills show it as I'm on my third iPad for the Board of Regents because I keep messing them up. So I will tell you that this is the time for change, but it's also a time to acknowledge that if we're going to move faster and we're going to make change that needs to come, and I really agree this needs to come, and I will vote yes for it, we need to acknowledge the pain that comes with it, the pain for the people who have been and will continue to be, I hope, part of our university system. And I, for one, am going to make that change the best I can, and I'm asking all of you to really think about the shifts that are happening since 1968, since 1970, since 2020, COVID, all the things that have changed the way we interact with each other, the internet, social media. We have got to find a way to be more communicative as a university system, and I think that's incredibly important as we change more quickly. And I think that I, for one, am pledging to work very hard to make sure that I communicate the changes that we're working on as I can, as quickly as I can, but also reaching out to people and telling them why this change is important and what difference it will make in terms of our becoming the best land-grant university in the country. And I believe we can do that. This is an odyssey to excellence, and this is the first step, but it's a painful step, and it's accompanied by painful economic realities. So as we think about that, I ask everyone to think about who we send to the unicameral, who sets the budget. Think about who you send to the Board of Regents to express your interest in higher education. And I promise you, I'm reading everything I can to catch up as fast as I can to the changes that are coming with AI and the future of our higher education world. So I thank you so much for being willing to take on this challenge of change that's not always going to be easy and is going to be misunderstood and not heard and not fully communicated. But we'll keep trying, and I will promise I will keep trying. So please know that it's not because we don't care about the courses that have to leave or the faculty that have to change what they're doing. We do care. We care deeply, and we care deeply about the future of those faculty in 2030, in 2035. So I hope very much that this change will bring us to the exact place that we are aiming to go, and that's to be the very best land-grant university in the AAU. Thank you.
Not there yet, but we're working on it. Chancellors, you?
So
Kelly?
thank you for the opportunity to speak. I've been here in Nebraska for just about 14 years. And before I came, I honestly did not know the difference between UNL, UNO, UNK, or UNMC. I knew there was Nebraska, and I think for me, the opportunity here is really not about protecting turf for us at UNMC, which I would love to do as interim chancellor, but seeing the bigger picture of what this all means for us as a system and the value of, as has been stated, being able to participate, for example, at the Med Center in Big Ten clinical trials that are only open to members of the Big Ten, opportunity for us to combine in activities that elevate the university as a whole. So right now, I think, UNL is an incredible organization, highly regarded. I love going to the Oscar Games, and I think, we always want to make sure that UNL, gets the recognition that they do. But I actually think that this should help all of us. And I think together, UNMC and UNL, thinking through as a university together, can actually enhance student, faculty, and staff experience. So I think for me, it's really the reassurance, again, that I've received, just like you have, Brock, that UNMC and UNL remain separate entities in reality. We continue to have our faculty senate, student senate, staff advisory council separate. We're going to continue to have separate leaderships, at least as I understand it. So hopefully there'll be none of that concerns about dilution. But I think I'd love to see our nursing students starting in UNL transferring to UNMC without any impediments, because right now they have to apply twice to UNL and to UNMC. So I think there are some opportunities there that we can all work on. And again, Regent Weiss, I appreciate your comments about just being sure that we're mindful of concerns that people do have about this. And I get those questions as well on our campus all the time. But I just think that it's important to speak up on the value of this, not just to everyone, but I think that we see value in this as well at the Med Center. So thank you for the opportunity.
Bennett?
Mr. Chairman, thank you for an opportunity to say a few words. We are committed to excellence, and we are committed to very difficult decisions, and we are committed to elevating public higher education in the state of Nebraska. So we embrace this new opportunity to work more closely with our colleagues at the Med Center. I want to say that there are some individuals in the room who are essential to our leadership team, who have worked diligently to help get us to this point. And I know I can speak on behalf of each of those individuals when we talk about our commitment to the Odyssey, to the extraordinary. Tiffany Hang-Moss across the room there, Jen Nelson, who's behind me, Mark Button, who is our Executive Vice Chancellor and in charge of Academic Affairs, and Dee Dee Anderson, who's back on campus, who leads our Student Life Division, are all committed to doing everything that we can do to ensure that the University of Nebraska is successful and that we are the most competitive institution across the country, regardless of the category. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Yeah, Dee Dee brought up a point that when I'm a business guy, so I look at lenses a little differently. But the talk about the nursing program, they start at UNL. They're accepted at UNL, but they transfer to the Med Center. And what happens? They're considered as a dropout at UNL. So UNL gets pegged because we've got a dropout. They didn't drop out, they went to the program. They were going through the program. Some of the stuff is insane. We don't make the rules, but we got to live by them. So, you know, there's a lot of things that go into this other than the things that would come to top of the mind when people, or when people say, well, gosh, what are you doing that for? A lot of pragmatic reasons, none of which we had any input on how they are handled and how they're counted. But it'd be nice to be able to count those graduates as graduates from the University of Nebraska, instead of having one be a dropout of the University of Nebraska, Lincoln, and then be a new student and graduate of the University of Nebraska Medical Center. It makes no sense to me at all. But that's the way they were doing it. And hopefully that's going to improve our statistics. And, you know, we live by the things that people count. And that's some of the things that are counted. So it is a win-win. And I'm enthused about the fact that we're able to move as quickly as we have, and with, I guess, recognizing the quality and work. I want to recognize the president, President Gold, because certainly I'll go on a thin limb here that this would never have happened if Dr. Gold was not our president at this point in time. I believe that. So, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I failed to recognize another important member of our team, because she's new to our team, and that's Ann Barnes, who is working as our interim CFO. So when I think about that comprehensive leadership team, Ann, forgive me for omitting you the first time, but Ann has been critical to helping us over the last several months since Mike Zelny left for another institution. So Ann, thank you.
I'll just make this pretty quick, but I'm also in the same boat as Regent Schroeder at UNK. And I had a lot of students ask me the same question, is what does this provide to the students at UNO? And I would tell them that I think that this is a step in the right direction that provides more opportunities to not only the students of the system, but also to Nebraskans in general. And I said, I think that is where that is the university's mission, and that is a step in the right direction. So.
Anyone else? I guess I get a little bit of time, but I will tell you that it's not been easy sitting at this table or some of the tables that are out there. And I would start with Dr. Gold and his staff. And I would thank the board members sitting here that helped with this when we had to testify and spend our time trying to be visual. But this is a win. It's a huge win for the University of Nebraska, the state of Nebraska, and I'm happy to be part of it. Cool. No other questions? We're going to go on to roll call. Katie?
Regent Wilkins?
Yes.
Regent Schroeder?
Yes.
Regent Lacey?
Yes.
Regent Calamari?
Yes.
Regent O'Connor?
Yes.
Regent Schaefer?
Yes.
Regent Shear?
Yes.
Regent Stark?
Yes.
Regent Whites?
Yes.
Regent Wilmot?
Yes.
Regent Claire?
Yes.
Regent Kenny? Motion passes.
Thank you. I believe we have a motion to go in executive session. Regent Shearer?
Thank you, Chairman. I move that the Board of Regents go into a closed session as authorized by Section 84-1410 of the revised statutes of Nebraska for the protection of the public interest and to prevent needless injury to the reputation of persons who have not requested a public hearing. For the purposes of holding this discussion will be limited to the following subjects involving real estate transactions and certain personnel matters.
For a second,
Second.
please.
Regent Schroeder?
Yes.
Regent Lacey?
Yes.
Regent Calamari?
Yes.
Regent Wilkins?
Yes.
Regent Schaefer?
Yes.
Regent Shear?
Yes.
Regent Stark?
Yes.
Regent Whites?
Yes.
Regent Wilmot?
Yes.
Regent Claire?
Yes.
Regent Kenny? Regent O'Connor?
Yes.
Motion passes.
We're in closed session. Back in session. Is there any further business?
It's now 2:41.
Now 2:41.
Not a
No,
day over.
No
I'll second that.
objections? We stand adjourned.